No, don't shoot!
Yeah, how's that shit feel?
Okay, so we're stopping by the Rise of the Triad part of PAX East here to talk to Dave about the game. Could you just set the stage? What's going on here behind us?
Okay, so we've got 6-player multiplayer on the floor. The game's coming out in just a few short months, so we wanted to bring multiplayer to PAX because this is the last chance people are going to have to get their hands on the game before the game comes out this summer. We've got 13 playable characters in this build. There will be 15 playable multiplayer characters in the final build. We've got 3 maps in rotation, 5-minute matches, no kill limit, body parts flying all over the place. It's a ton of fun. Look at that guy, he's having a good time.
So, what kind of what are you looking for feedback here? Are you just trying to get that game out there, or are you looking to sort of get some feedback from players?
We're always looking for more fan feedback, because when we test the game, we know where all the weapons are, we know how the maps are. But when you see, when the public comes and plays the game, it's totally different. We see what weapons they constantly get, how they use them, who's getting kills with what weapons. We're collecting the data. We're seeing what part of the maps they use and what parts they don't. Because we play it completely differently. So we see this and we come back. We'll come back after a show like this and go, okay, guys. When people were playing the game, they weren't going downstairs that much, or they weren't using this that much, or this weapon was totally overpowered, or this character was totally overpowered. Because we have 15 characters. So it's great to not only get it out there so people can get their hands on the game, but also so we can get more fan feedback before the game comes out and we can tweak things with the multiplayer.
So maybe this was what I should have asked from the beginning. What's the quick pitch? What's different about Rise of the Triad compared to other games in the same genre?
Well, there's not a lot of games, that are like this anymore. There's not that many fast-paced Twitch multiplayer shooters. I mean, people come to this, they're like, holy shit, it's like Quake Live, an Unreal Tournament. We're like, yeah, it is, and, that's all that's going on these days. But, we've also got a full single-player component, 20 levels with boss fights, just like the original game in 1995. But we wanted this multiplayer to really give you that, Quake, Unreal feel. People are coming by, they're like, it's more Unreal Tournament than Unreal Tournament. We're like, that's what we like to hear. So it's that kind of a game. It's real fast, it's real twitchy, there's all kinds of crazy weapons, and it's just about, high kill counts and, going crazy.
So for fans of the old game, how close are you aiming for it to be, and sort of in sort of atmosphere and everything, and sort of how do you want fans of the old game to sort of react to it?
It's a really, really faithful reboot, right? So all the characters from the original are back, all the bosses from the original are back, all the level design is back. So it's very, but in theme and tone, but we've just updated it for 2013, It's running a fully licensed Unreal 3 game, so obviously it doesn't look like it did in 1995, but we brought all the weapons back, all the modes back, all the characters back, and all the music is back. We've redone all the original songs and made them heavy metal. So we really love that, and the fact that, the fans have responded really, really well to it. They can tell that, we're really all about this franchise. We've got a real reverence for it, We grew up playing the original Rise of the Triad, and we're working with guys from Apogee who worked on the original Rise of the Triad, and then guys who modded the original Rise of the Triad. So we've got like 20 years of game developers all working on one game, and we're all about Rise of the Triad. So it's, the fans have really reacted well to that. They can tell that we really care about the franchise.
But I can imagine that, trying to recreate the same feel of an old game is kind of hard when you're working with new technology, because it's not really, these days games are a little bit different when it comes to physics and how you sort of move about and how you aim and those kind of things. Sort of, is it a modern rendition of it?
Yeah, we've updated the game in a lot of ways. It's easy to get the speed and the jump and all that feeling like an old game, feeling really fast, like, the Unreals of old and the Rise of the Triad 95. But now what we can do, things like modern physics is, when body parts explode, they bounce off walls. We've, got physics and apex destruction and all this great stuff that NVIDIA helps us with. And being fully licensed Unreal 3, we can really pump out the visuals. But, when we're trying to do things like with the enemy AI and stuff, in the old game, we can make it smarter now. We can add more VOs, we can have guards that have smart pathing. With the level design, it's not just slapped together levels. We have, critical pathing and heat mapping now, to make more fluid and more fun levels that aren't just like old, just mazes all the time. We've still got that old school gameplay. We've still got colored keys and doors. We still have monster closets, we love them. So it's still got all that old school feel, but it's a very new school flow. So it's hard. It is hard to find a balance between, you know, what really worked well in the 90s and what people expect today. But we think we found like a really good mix, and so far people are loving it.
And you got to make it hard like in the 90s as well.
It's hard like in the 90s. There's 3 difficulty levels: easy, medium, hard, and ludicrous, obviously, for Rise of the Triad fans. And it's hard. The boss fights are hard. The enemies hit hard. And that's how we like it. You know, it really does feel like a classic game from the 90s that has just been brought into 2013, and that's what we're all about. You know, we're not turning this into Call of Duty. It's not going to be a linear corridor shooter. We're not about that. We're all about the old school, and people have been really receptive to that, so we're digging it.
All right, and you mentioned it's just a few months left. Do you have a date in mind already?
We're going to announce a release date soon, but I might as well tell you that it's coming out this summer. It's going to be on Steam and GOG for just $14.99. It's fully moddable, and the mods are going to be shareable with the Steam Workshop. And you can also get it DRM free on GOG.com and at the Apogee store. So you can do whatever you want with this thing, have a ton of fun with it, and people are having a ton of fun with it right now at PAX.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.